Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good Friday. This is Brenda Quintana from the cubiesquest.com blog. And today I'm going to show you how to take an Andes mince box, like one of these. There are these thins boxes, and turn it into a full-size slider box. And I'm calling this an easy box because we're going to use the existing packaging that the mints come in to create our box. So when we created the last 2 weeks, we created a half slider box, half the width of this, and a quarter size box, and we actually had to create a new inside for the slider. But this time we're going to use the full box, and I actually had to go to the store yesterday and pick up some more mints because I didn't have any left in the original packaging. I've been really good. I haven't eaten a single one of these, even though peppermint is like it is one of my weaknesses. I've just been like, no, I can't eat any because I need them for my my demonstrations. But now I have a few more boxes because I was going to make the full-size box, and I had already taken the packaging off my original box so I could make the quarter and half size boxes, so I didn't have any left with the packaging on. So I'm going to show you how you can do this. If you want to, you leave the packaging, the plastic packaging, on the box and then just put the slider cover over, or you can take the packaging off and just use the base of the box. So there's different options for you. But before we get into all of the slider boxes, I just wanted to let you know, if you don't already know, we have the Stampin' Up! Loaded a whole bunch of stuff onto the clearance rack yesterday, and there's some really, really good deals, up to 60% off, and there's still clearance rack stuff available this morning. So if you haven't already taken a look at that, please go over there and check it out. I left a link in the description of the video below that takes you directly to the clearance rack so that you can see all the stuff. I had lots of orders come in yesterday and some phone orders coming in because the deals were really great. And just because they're on the clearance rack doesn't mean they're still not the same quality. It's like the same quality of paper and ribbon and all of that. And so if you create en masse, like you create for craft fairs or for organizations where you're creating hundreds of things, sometimes it's really nice to pick up that paper at like 60% off, and the ribbon, because the quality is just awesome. So just a little announcement. We also, the holiday catalog is now in retirement mode. Almost all of the catalog is retiring with just a few exceptions. And when you're over at the clearance rack, you'll probably see a banner to look at the holiday catalog retiring. One of the products I'm using today are retiring, but I checked this morning and they're all still available. So we'll talk about those in a moment. And I think this bundle with this paper is, if you haven't already gotten it, definitely take a look at getting it because it's going to be gone. It's while supplies last or until January 4th, whatever comes first. And if you want to pick up a few more packs of the paper, if you already have the bundle, the paper is still available right now. So that's really good news, because I hate creating a project when there's something on limited supply. All right, well, I'm going to talk to you all at the very end of my video, and I'm going to pop over to my other camera. Oh, I've got lots of stuff on my camera this morning. Well, let's put this off to the side. Let's just scoot some things off to the side so we can take a look at the project. So this is the project, and here is one that I did with the packaging. And I'm actually going to give you two different slider boxes sizes, and you can choose which one you like better. This one is a little looser, but this has like the full packaging on it, so they're not going to go running loose or anything like that. And then this one I made a little bit tighter. If you're planning on right away taking off the packaging, you might want this one because it won't be as slidey. So let's just see this one. It's a little bit more slidey, whereas you wouldn't be able to do that with this one. So I've got two different kind of, oh, let me just pop that in. So this one has a little bit more, you know, you cannot slide that. It's not going to come sliding out unless you push it. So, but I feel like when you stick this one in, I don't even know if I can get this one inside here. So let's just try this. This is the tighter box. See, it's a little, well, it will fit in there, but it's a little tighter. So the easier one to slide, the one that moves a little bit easier, the measurements are just a tad bit easier to create. So if you're like new crafter, maybe go for the first slider cover I show you. And but if you want that snugger fit, then I just need to, I'll do it from this direction because I find it's easier to load the box. There we go. And so I'll give you those two dimensions. And this time we're actually going to use, which I haven't used on the boxes yet, we're going to use this die that comes with this Sweet Candy Canes bundle. We're going to be using that today. Again, I used it for all of the slider boxes, the 1/4 and the 1/2 as well. And what I wanted to point out, the dies right now are 20% off on the holiday catalog sale, but nothing else is. But if you buy the dies and the stamp set separately now, you're going to save yourself about $1 versus if you buy them as a bundle. Because as a bundle, you save 10%, but if you buy them separately, this is 20% off and this is regular price. But because the dies are a bit more expensive, you end up saving $1. So I put all in my supply list. You will find the bundle link and you will find the separate links. So whatever you want to do it a little cheaper buying them separately right now. I'm also using this, and oh my gosh, I forget the name of this punch. It's a banners punch. Let me scroll down. I'm doing this in the background. This is the Lovely Labels Pick a Punch, and we're going to be using that for this banner right here. Okay, I had to go look that up. I should have labeled this punch. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to show you, just real quick. Here is the 1/4. Let's do this. These are the different size boxes. We've got the 1/4, we've got the 1/2 size, and then we've got the full size box. So you've got like 3 different size boxes. And I also remember this, I made this on the very first one. This is a little candy cane tag, and that is done with this little piece right here. It cuts the little candy cane cover. So just one more thing to do with this box. Okay, that's a lot of boxes, a lot of stuff you can do with that bundle. Why don't we get started? And we're going to create, first of all, we're going to create the cover that is a little bit, this one, I need more room on my desk. Let's shove this way. First of all, we're going to create the one that has a little bit more room. I need to grab my correct piece. Okay, so for the looser cover, you're going to cut a piece of basic white cardstock to 8.5 inches by 6 3/8 inches. And we're going to score at the 7/8 inch mark, the 3 7/8 inch mark, the 4 3/4 inch mark, and the 7 3/4 inch mark. Okay, so one thing you'll notice is that you'll probably barely notice this. One of the ends, the very last end here, is a little bit shorter than this end. And I could have made this piece 8 5/8, and then this would have been exactly the same size, but because I wanted to give you the best use out of your cardstock, I decided to make it a bit shorter because it really won't matter on the inside. It's just going to matter a little bit when we line things up and glue them. So you'll need to pay a little bit attention, okay? So we're going to fold this piece along the score lines first. I'm using a bone folder here to smooth down all of these pieces. Okay, so just take a look. Find the shorter side, okay? If you don't know what it is, go take a ruler. It measures 3/4 of an inch. That's the shorter side. This side here, the longer side, is 7/8 of an inch, okay? So find that shorter end segment. Okay, flip this over. And we're gonna bend this 3/4 inch segment over. And we're gonna put glue on the 3/4 inch segment. Because if you put it on the 7/8 inch segment, it will still work out, but you're gonna have maybe some glue oozing out because you wanna put it on the shorter segment. So I'm just putting some glue kind of in the center of that segment. And then we're going to fold over this piece so those two segments are going to overlap like that. And then we're going to press down like this. And then because the shorter segment is on the inside, I don't know if you can see that. No one's going to know that it's just a little bit shorter. Okay, so if we grab our Andes mints right here, we can slide this in. And this is kind of the looser box, okay? All right, so, and then we'll go on to decorate it. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same type of cover, but it's going to be a little snugger, okay? So let's go back to the drawing board one more time. Grab my scoring board. And this time, switch my measurements. Oh, by the way, I will have a project sheet for this box. It just was not ready on time this morning. So make sure you are on my email list, and the email list down below in the description of the video, there is a link to join my email list if you're not already on it. If you're on it, no worries, you're going to get the project sheet. I don't just give out one project sheet for signing up from my email list. You get a project sheet every week if you are on my email list. Okay, so let's do the smaller or snugger box. And this one, you're going to start off with, and don't freak out, 8 7/16. Okay, do you know what 8 7/16 is? It is, take the 8.5 inch mark, 8.5 inch, and just go 1/16 less. So it's in between 8 3/8 and 8.5. Just go one tick less, okay? And you definitely need to be 8 7/16. 8 7/16. Make sure you're on that 16th inch mark, because this becomes important for how we do our scoring. I know it always takes me a while to figure out these measurements when I do it, but it just works. And so 8 7/16, 8 7/16 by, again, 6 3/8. Okay. So just slightly different measurements than the last box. And then we are going to score this at 4 5/8 and 7 5/8. Okay. Then we're going to turn this piece to the other long side. This is the long side up at the top. Turn it to the other long side and score at the exact same measurements. 4 5/8 and 7 5/8. I know it's kind of voodoo magic. Don't ask me why these measurements. It's kind of complicated to explain unless you really love measurements like I do. Okay, so now this piece is perfectly symmetrical. There isn't a short side or a short side. These two sides should be the same. I'm going to add some light. My sun kind of went a little bit behind a cloud. Okay, so we're going to take this piece and now we're going to fold it along the score lines like we did last time. The bone folder really helps give us like really nice crisp folds. Like if I just fold it over like this, it's not as crisp. So bone folder is a handy tool. Okay, so we've got one of the segments, doesn't matter which one, folded over. We're going to put Tombow on that segment that's folded over. And then we're going to bring this end segment so it is right on top of the other segment. So we're folding in at the second score line in. We'll just bring this on top. And this should sit nicely like that. Smooth this down. This is also good for distributing the glue and making sure those two ends adhere properly. Okay, so now we've got our box. Let's test it on this one right here. It's going to be a little snugger. Okay, so we're going to have to, it's easier for me to feed in from the other side, but see it like this is like snug as a bug in a rug. This is not going to come out unless you give it a push. So you need to decide what you like best, the snug one or the non-snug one. Okay, so we've got that in there and now it's time to decorate up our box because the cool thing is, let's find this one. The cool thing is we're using this box for our base. So we don't have to create that inside box like we did for the half and the quarter slider box. It's just done for us, right? So that's cool. We've jumped a big step right there. And now we can just move on to decorating. Okay, so for this piece, I've got a little trick on how to get this piece wrapped around the edge like that. So pay attention to this part. Okay, we've got a piece. You can choose whatever color of cardstock you want for the wrap. And I'm choosing Garden Green right here. This piece measures 5.5 by 4 3/4 inches. I'm going to put the short side up at the top and we'll score at the 7/8 inch mark. And then just to make it easy, I'm just going to turn it to the other short side and score at the 7/8 inch mark. So basically I'm scoring in 7/8 on both short sides. So 7/8, turn 7/8, okay? And then absolutely positively fold this piece before you put it through the die cutting machine because otherwise it's going to be really hard to fold afterwards, okay? Trust me on this. Do it in this order. Okay, and I'm going to fold and fold. All right. We're also going to need a candy cane that we die cut. And I am using this beautiful stripy Swedish Christmas paper. And it comes with 2 sheets of candy canes. Or you can use your candy cane stamp set, stamp your candy canes and die cut them in the same way. But I am going to cheat today and use existing candy canes. And I'm going to use this one right here. I'm just going to, because I can't run this full sheet through my die cutting machine, I'm just going to rough cut out the candy cane that I want real quick. And you know what, if I were doing this en masse, I would probably cut this sheet into thirds, just kind of wiggle cut along here and cut all my candy canes and stick them in a little bag instead of what I've been doing here, like hacking into that paper, but okay, and let me see, what else do I need? Okay, that's all I need to die cut. So let's get out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Right here. I've got a lot of things hanging out of the way. Okay, let's talk about the sandwich. Ooh, I did not clean this from my last die cutting experience. Clean that off. Okay, the sandwich. So we start off with the base platform number 1, thin die adapter number 2, a clear plate number 3. Then we're going to take our piece, kind of straighten it back out. Remember, we already folded it. Put this on a little bit of an angle, and now I need to find where my dies went. My desk is kind of messy today, I will admit. Okay, so we're going to put this on here, and the main thing what we want to do is we want to center it. Okay, as closely as possible. You want to center that on there. You're going to have a bit on either side and a bit on either side there. And it's easier to run this through on a little bit of an angle so that you're not coming straight with the roller here, so that that little point goes through first. So if your die cutting machine allows for this, like the regular Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, just put it on a bit of an angle. And then we're going to take our second clear plate and place it over top without shifting anything. And then we're going to run this through. Okay, we'll see. Last night when I was die cutting, there was one time when it didn't cut all the way through, but look how well these kind of come out. See if these all came out. Look at that. Isn't that a fabulous piece? This is also works really nicely on a card front. Okay, so all of those pieces need to go in the garbage. All right, we're gonna come back, and this time we're gonna cut out our little candy cane. It's underneath all of my stuff. Same sandwich as before. We just need to find the correct die. Pop this over here, this over here. Okay, and then this one, I think we're going to use a little bit of this Post-it and labeling cover-up tape. I use this to stick down my dies so they don't shift. And because this one might shift a little bit. So just get your candy cane so it's centered over top, and then I'm just going to pin it down so it doesn't shift while it's going through. And then I'll put my second plate on top, and let's run this little guy through, and that way I don't have to fussy cut this myself. Peel this off. And there is my little cute little candy cane. All right, we can put this away. Put that away. Bring back in our little box, and we're going to take this piece. And if you folded this along the score lines ahead of time, you should be able to fold this pretty easily now. If you didn't do it ahead of time, you are going to have to very carefully fold each of those lines, and it might be a little wonky because guess what? That's what I did. It wasn't very good. And don't even try and score it after the fact, because scoring it after the fact is a nightmare because you kind of come over the top of all of these little bumps. Ask me how I know. That did not work out very well. So make sure you score, fold, and then die cut. So this will just fit right on top right here. And the nice thing is you can make it in whatever color you want. And I'm just going to put glue on the outside first. And then I'm just going to put glue on the fat stripes because the skinny stripes are too skinny and I don't want to deal with them. All right, just kind of mushing out the big blobs of glue. All right, so now I'm going to take this very carefully and I'm just going to lay this over top. Try and center it as best you can, and then just wrap this around and just press down on the stripes. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take this one out. It feels so puffy because I'm going to grab, I'll grab this inside here. This one feels like less puffy because it's, when you take the packaging off, it looks kind of cuter, right, when you pull it out right away. But the nice thing is you can make up these covers, keep your candy wrapped and stored in a cool place so it stays fresh. And then when you're ready, you can either like take the packaging off and then slide it in there as soon as you're ready to give it. Or if you want to, like, just give it with the packaging, and that way it's all kind of nice and new and everything, and you've just created a nice little cover for it, right? It looks like a little fancier than just handing someone a box that you bought at the store, right? This looks better. Well, I think it looks better. Okay, so now let's create a little banner for that comes across. And so I've got a little piece of red cardstock, and this measures 4 3/4 by 1 inch. And I'm going to take my lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch, I think it's called, and I'm going to use this end right here, just slide it all the way till you feel it hit the end, and then give it a little punch, and then it creates that cute little end for you. And then we're going to do some embossing, and I'm going to take that cute little stamp that says Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. We have an embossing toolkit right now, and it comes with an embossing buddy. I put the link below in the supply list. Just rub this over top, and this is going to take away, like, if you had oils on your hands while you touched the cardstock, or maybe it encountered, I don't know, a stray bit of glue or something sticky. That's going to take everything away, and hopefully now the embossing powder will just stick to where it's supposed to stick. I've got my Versamark pad, and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. This is a spongy pad, so I'm just tapping on the surface, and I'm going to put this kind of near the end, but not right at the end. Okay, lift up, and this ink stays wet for a while so that I can take my embossing powder. I've dumped my white into a little container so that I can do this. I can just sprinkle it on and tap it off. See how nicely that embossing powder, it doesn't stick to anywhere where it's not supposed to stick. Okay, grab my heat tool, turn it on. So as I emboss, the embossing powder will change color from kind of a dull white to a bright white. And just make sure you hit all of the little flecks. And now I've got a beautiful white greeting that stands up against the dark cardstock. And then we're going to take this and just put glue on it and glue it about right there. Kind of coming across. All right. And then we're going to take this ribbon here This Real Red and Garden Green ribbon is not retiring, which is great because it's perfect for Christmas. So it's still available, and I'm going to take some of the Real Red. They come together in a pack, so you get both a spool of Real Red and Garden Green. And I'm just going to take this, we'll kind of line it up or chop and tie my first knot. And our embossing additions toolkit has these little locking tweezers, which you will love, to tie knots. You won't need like a finger. Sometimes I like to support it so it doesn't anchor down like if it's on a box. And then we'll just come in with the second knot and just pull it tight. And when it's tight, then I can release this and then just tighten it just up a little bit further. And then we'll take our scissors, which they've gone into hiding. Okay, I'm going to cut this like this and like this. You might need to make this a little shorter. Okay. All right, and then we've got our little candy cane, and we're going to tuck that in like that. And just, I don't want to have to put glue on this whole candy cane and slide it in. So I'm going to take a mini dimensional and just pop it right at the top on the back. Just take off the backing. And I'm going to slide it under the ribbon and kind of just angle it a little bit. And then when I've got it in a good position, I'm going to just put it down. So that way it's not going to come loose or anything, but I didn't take a long time to glue it. Also lifts it up just a little bit. Okay, and then we need some iridescent jewels. And I have used a lot of these. I need a new package of them. Look how many I've used. I've got just these ones and one big one left. So I'm going to grab that last big one and pop it here. Oops. Pop it there. Grab a smaller one and pop it there. Just to add a little bit of twinkle. And there is my little box. Oh, I want to mention real quick before I show you everything. So last week, one of my customers, she emailed me and she was excited that she was going to make these boxes. And she told me she was going to make, I think she was making, I don't remember if she was making the half slider boxes or the quarter slider boxes for her family. And she said, but her granddaughter does not like mint. And she was going to find something else to put in the box. So I just did a quick search. I went online and I just wondered, does Andy's Thins, do they come in any other flavors? And guess what they do? I was so excited to find out. So I emailed her back and she just emailed me this morning, right before I went live. She just emailed me a photo. And she said her husband had gone to the store for her looking for other flavors. And so she sent me a picture with there's creme de menthe, which is the original one in a green packaging. There's cherry jubilee and toffee crunch. So if you have someone that really doesn't love mints, you can find a few other flavors for these chocolates. And they're in the same size box, same size wrapping, slightly probably different color, but now you'll have some options for these boxes for the non-mint lovers, and you can use them. You can make everyone at your table happy. I also got an email from someone else who said that this little box, I've taken the mints out of here now. This little, no, not this one. Nope, this one would be too small. I think this one here, this one, yes, this one would be the right size. The half slider box holds 5 bars of Merci chocolate. I don't have any Merci in the house right now, but 5 of them fit across here. So if you wanted to make the half slider box and you didn't want to put Andy's mints in them, another option would be to get a box of Merci chocolates and pop those in the half slider one. That's a different box than we made today. You'll have to go back into to 2 weeks ago when I did the half slider box. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm gonna bring in this one because I think it matches like the tone of the candy canes better. We'll just pop this in, and we'll pop this one in like this. Okay, so there are the 3 sizes. Last week I did the quarter. 2 weeks ago I did the half slider, and then this week it's the full slider. So, and if you wanted to, say you didn't want to use this this die, you could use paper. Like you could grab different of the pattern paper that's in that pack and just cut it to the same size as what I said, like 4 3/4 by 5 1/2. On the short side, score at the 7/8 inch going in on both sides. And then you just would fold it over top and lay it over top and use that. Or you could cut a piece just for the very top too. That would also be an option. This is about 3 inches. And so it would be 3 inches by 5 1/2 inches approximately. So that would be another option for you to decorate the top up if you didn't want to use this particular die. But I thought it was kind of cool that we could kind of create that striped look with that die, because I hadn't used that die yet, and I wanted to show you that that was kind of cool. Yeah, so let me come over to you guys and let's talk a little bit more. First of all, remember the clearance rack sale. For those of you who just popped on here, I have a host code for the month. That's my host code. And today my pre-order from the catalog that's coming out in January is arriving, and so I'll be able to show you next week. I'll be able to show you the gift of the month for placing an order in December. That's $50 or more. It's the Daisy Loose Embellishments. Use this host code, place an order of $50 or more, and you will get that gift mailed to you in January. I can't even order them for all of you until January, so they will be coming to your mailbox in January, but you earn them in December. And let me see what else. All the supplies I talked about today are available on my down below and on my blog. So just go ahead and click on over and check those out. I've been using the same supplies for the last 3 weeks. So I've been using real red cardstock, garden green cardstock, that real red and garden green ribbon. I've been using the iridescent ice rhinestones. I've been using the sweetest Christmas paper. I've been using the Sweet Candy Canes bundle. So you will have lots of different sizes of Andy's boxes to make, and you could also make that cute little candy cane wrap that I have here. That also with that same bundle, same ribbon. So it's nice that all of those supplies can be used for multiple projects. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you. If you aren't already a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Even if you're not ordering from me, having you as a subscriber helps other people find me and find my projects, and I really appreciate that. If you're a follower, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that a lot. Okay, I'm going to pop over. December is an interesting month, I have to tell you, as a paper crafter. most people are paper crafting ahead of the holidays, and they're kind of slowing down now as we approach the holiday season. But it's a great time to pick up holiday products for projects you might want to do next year. That way you can work on them earlier in the year and you don't have to do them last minute. Some people are last minute though, so it's still there's still time to order the supplies and get them before Christmas and make your projects. But think ahead to next year. What are you going to make next year for your friends, for your craft fairs and all of that? You can get that stuff right now. All right, we don't have that many comments. Everyone's busy right now, I'm sure. Let's have a look this morning. Good morning, Marty. Marty said she brought some Andes mints last night, and you're all ready now. Oh, great, because now you can do all the different size boxes, right? Good morning, Ellie. So good to see you. Hello, Pat. And Pat says she's going to watch on TV, so I can't commit that way. Okay, great. Well, I hope I don't. When I'm really big, I always see myself on the small screen. I hate to think all the details that are showing on the big screen, but hopefully as I'm crafting, you're able to follow along. And good morning, Janine. I hope you enjoy this project. This one is easier to create than before, but we need to have different complexities of projects so that we can, sometimes our projects are harder, sometimes they're easier. This one's a good last minute one because you can create those covers really quickly and get them decorated up. Andes mints are great. Yesterday when I was at the store, I picked up 2 for $5, so about $2.50 a box. So they're still a reasonable priced gift, unless you're going to need 100 of them, then it might not, depending on your budget, might not be as reasonable. But then you could make the quarter size box or the half size box to make it a bit more economical. But at $2.50 a box, when you decorate it up, right, it looks really pretty. It looks really nice, and when someone gets this, they're going to be like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then I'm not going to open it up all the way. But the Andes mints, they look really nice. I should have called today so many stripes because I'm wearing stripes. There's stripes on the cover here. There's stripes on the candy cane. There's stripes on the Andes mints. So many stripes today. So Marty said, she asked a question, which store to get the different flavors of Andes mints, I'm assuming. So I did an online search. My customer didn't tell me which store she got hers at, but try Target because I looked online. I did a search on Walmart and it looked like they were out of stock on some of them. Maybe they're available in store. I'm not sure. Try Target. I think you'll have good luck at Target. Sometimes even don't forget your little local pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens. They usually have a fairly decent candy section. And oftentimes their candy is on sale. Maybe not all the time, but if you can find the mints on sale, then they'll be reasonable price. But Target tends to have probably a reasonable price for them. So check Target first if you have a Target near you to see if you can find those mints. Oh, which store did I get the 2 for $5? Okay, so generally I don't talk about the store where I get it at because I'm in the Boston area and I don't know if everywhere has Star Market. It has another name too. Trying to remember its sister store. But Star Market, let me see if I can find it in the background. Shaw's. Yeah, it just came to me as I'm typing. Shaw's, I think, is the same store. So Star Market Shaw's is where I got my mints, and they were on sale, two for $5. So, or you can get them bulk at Amazon. That's a great way too. I left the link down below in the description of my video. There is a link to, I think, just the single boxes of mints, just so you know what I'm talking about. If you've never heard of Andy's mints before, click on that link and it will take you to the single box in of the Andy's mints. But Pat just mentioned you can get them bulk at Amazon. I hope that when you buy them for bulk, then you can get a better price. And Marty mentioned just now that her Target had all the varieties. Okay, that's great, because some people don't like mint. I don't know who you are out there that you don't like mint, but no, I'm just kidding. It's okay. You don't have to like mint. I just love mint. So for me, it's a real treat at Christmas to have mint. And maybe now, I think this is my last Andy's project for a while. Maybe now I can actually sit down and eat one of the Andy's mints that I have like 3 boxes of Andy's mints for. So maybe that's what I'll do right now. Have an Andy's mints in celebration of my 3 boxes that I just created. All right, my project sheet, don't forget, is coming out in your mailbox tomorrow. So get on my email list if you're not already on there and you want this project sheet. Have a great weekend. Check out the clearance rack sale and the holiday catalog sale, and before those items sell out. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.